Hello, I'm Sarah Black.
And I'm Theo Black.
And here is our review in under 3 minutes for Dunkirk. No spoilers.
The story of Dunkirk, told from the perspectives of land, sea, and air. So this movie is visual eye candy.
Yep.
In fact, that's really what I think about when I think about this movie, is that, like, there are these great shots of water rising above the camera, of all of the soldiers diving for cover on the beach or on the pier, or that shot of that guy walking into the ocean. I could just start naming shots and shots and shots, and it is very visually rich.
The flying, like you could track what was going on.
Yes, it felt, and it still feels kind of personal to it. It's not like Kubrick where it's so cold. Mm-hmm. And I like that, and I think a lot of the story comes from the visuals, and not even necessarily the characters. That's fascinating to me.
Yes. Not through the characters, because there is not much in the way of characters. The characters, the British people, and they're charming, and they like tea, and even when war is happening, they want jam on bread, and that was where the movie falls apart for me a little bit. It's still a good movie. I enjoyed it. I got lost, even though I knew the story of Dunkirk. I know people who didn't know the story of Dunkirk and had no idea what had happened. And there's not like a strong central narrative to latch on to. And there's no characters to latch onto. There's the strong RAF fighters and the soldiers and so on, but there's no like person to really enter with.
Although I agree with you, I actually enjoyed that about this film because it's a film about an entire group of people, specifically the British who were involved with Dunkirk. And I actually tracked that fine because I was following it as if they were all a singular main character. And I think that's a really hard way to make films. It's like, goes back to probably Battleship Potemkin or something, which I've never seen. But it's that style of using a cast, and not really an ensemble cast, but just a cast to represent an entire entity. And I found that interesting. However, my problem with the film is that it's ultimately kind of just a film about an event.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily go much more than that. And you're right, the story is... I didn't have trouble tracking it, but it is confusing, so it's kind of an event film that's a little confusing.
It felt more like an experiment. Like, can I tell this story this way? It felt like it's really interesting what he did there, but do I necessarily like it that much? And I'm going to say, I liked it okay. 3 pigeons.
I really liked this film. I'm going to give it 4 pigeons because it is just an event, and there isn't a lot of meaning beyond that.
Would you like some tea and crumpets, love?
Subscribe.
I would.